So you keep telling yourself, I'm going to start that side hustle. I'm going to pick up that side gig, and sure, there are plenty of really good reasons to start a side hustle. For some, it's going to be, trying to use the extra money to pay off debt or to build up your savings. For others, it just might mean a little extra money to spend on a date or going out to eat or buying nice clothes or maybe even taking that vacation you've been thinking about. But money aside, a side hustle can also open the door to different career opportunities. Not only could you develop your skills because of this extra work, but you might one day decide to turn this side hustle into a full time thing. Because of that, it's going to pay to put a lot of thought into the side hustle you're going to pick rather than just randomly picking one. So let's go over a couple things that are going to help you pick the right one. And we're going to start off with probably one of the more important ones. Just find a gig that you like, you enjoy, right? Because if you're like most workers, you probably spend a good 40 hours or more at your primary job. And that means that by the end of each day, you're likely tired and somewhat mentally exhausted. That's why it's important to find a side hustle that you don't dread doing. Pushing yourself to work, say, 10 hours a week in addition to your main job, it's not going to be that easy. So the side work should be something that you actually look forward to doing. In this regard, you might consider turning a hobby into a source of income. Maybe it's caring for animals, writing any kind of poetry or blogs or anything like that, or maybe even you like crafting different things. This way, that second gig won't actually feel so much like work. The next thing to talk about is being flexible. I mean, the last thing you want is for your side hustle to interfere with your main job. And that's gonna you don't want it compromising your primary source of income, right? You don't want them to interfere with each other, and that's why it's gonna pay to choose a second gig or a side hustle that offers the most flexibility in terms of like if you have to have things done by a certain deadline or any type of scheduling that's involved with it. I mean, imagine you accept a gig that requires you to have something done by 6 p.m. And what if you're required to work late at your main job? Suddenly, there's a problem, right? You're like, well, I have to work late. How am I going to get this done by 6? I accepted this job, and what's going to happen? I mean, unless your primary job is really, really predictable, you may be better off, finding, a side hustle with flexible hours. So, as an example, doing web design on the side from home and plugging away at the computer, when it suits your schedule, whether it's 8 p.m. or 3 p.m., right? It doesn't really matter. You just get a little bit done, a little bit done, a little bit done, a little bit done, right? Your side hustle fits, your schedule because it's so flexible. Now, the third thing to talk about is going to be making sure to get one that has a lot of room for growth. I feel like this one is kind of not really not really looked at that much because sure it's not unheard of for people to turn a side hustle into a full-time job. And if you're starting that side hustle later in life, it may be a good thing to carry with you into retirement where it can serve as a source of income, give give you something meaningful to do with your days, right? Something, again, it's going to be something that you enjoy, right? And your schedule is going to be, flexible. So if you're going to take this into retirement, this can be extra money. You're doing something you like, and it's just you're good to go, right? And that's why it's really wise to pursue a secondary kind of job or gig or hustle that comes with the possibility to ramp up, right? So let's look at an example. So let's say you decide to do graphic design work, right? That's your side hustle. Now, that's a job you can grow as more clients learn about you, right? But if you take a seasonal position, say at a local restaurant to make a little extra cash, I mean, you might find yourself out of that job once things slow down. So, you really got to, you know, pay attention to, what you're trying to do to earn that little extra money, right? So, the fourth thing that we're going to talk about, find something that actually pays, right? It's fine to find something that you enjoy. And if you're okay with not getting, paid for it, sure, that's fine. And hopefully eventually it works out for you. But finding something that you enjoy and pays you, I mean, you're set, right? Because, I mean, let's face it. You might, like I said, I don't know, if you might genuinely enjoy your side hustle, and that's fine. But the primary reason you're doing it is to make money, right? So, if you're going to put in a bunch of hours each week, you might as well get paid for them, right? I mean, so this isn't to say, you should do something you don't like to do just to make more money. But if selling your home baked cookies will earn you, $10 an hour when you factor in, time plus the cost of ingredients, it, you know, it, it may or may not be worth the effort, right? Like, if you enjoy baking, you probably don't need to do it, for 10 hours a week. But I mean, what if you're, making cookies and you're selling them and then it's $5 an hour? That's probably not worth it, right? But if you're able to sell, maybe big homemade cookies or whatever, and you're making $12 an hour, that might be worth it, right? So rather, what you should do is aim to find a nice middle ground, something that will make a noticeable difference in your finances, but that you'll manage to learn from and have fun with. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, right? Because, hopping aboard the side hustle bandwagon, it's going to be a good way to boost the money that you're making and to develop yourself as a person. But picking the right side hustle, right? You know, is kind of the key there. And you'll hopefully find that the experience is a rewarding one on the whole. So just remember, find a gig that you enjoy, choose something that lets you have, a flexible schedule, try to get one that has, enough room for growth, and then do something that actually gets you paid. Now, I understand that you might not be able to get all four of those, but if you can hit at least two or three of those, you're set, right? So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Maybe it'll help you make a decision for yourselves. I know, for me, my side hustle ticks two of these boxes off, like immediately, and I'm trying to see if I can work the third one in there. And if I can, it's fantastic. But if not, it's fine because I enjoy doing it. But if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. But until I see you guys in the next video, y'all be safe.